Every weekend we found our way to sea, sitting by a window in a little cafe, sharing warm coffee, watching quiet days go by. When snow began to fall, we ran outside, laughing. Sea had nothing to say, snow kept falling over waves. Winter blurred beyond the glass, soft sound of distant tide. And then your smile, bright as falling snow, became quietest view I'd ever known. I always thought happiness lived somewhere far away, but if there's one moment you never want to end, perhaps that is happiness. That was the day I finally understood. It's you, someone whose smile and falling snow become same beautiful view. Someone beside me without saying word, yet warming every corner of heart. Perhaps there is no greater happiness than moment like this. Life grows deeper, not through grand occasions, but through quiet repetitions. Walking same road, sharing same coffee, watching same winter sky. Those ordinary days were quietly becoming season called us. People never remember only someone's smile. They remember season where that smile remains. So whenever winter returns before snow, I always remember you. It's you, even when snow keeps falling, even when sea turns cold. Simply having you beside me makes whole world warmer. Happiness was never far away, it was always sitting across from me. Sea never changed, snow kept falling. Only one thing was different, my heart. First snow had finally fallen. I'll remember it as a Saturday. Snow was softly falling, world was calling me outside. Paper cup warming both my hands, light coat resting on my shoulders. Before winter could find me, I stepped out to find winter first. People walked away from snow. I followed where snow would lead. Where birch trees quietly began, someone stood, breathing into white air. To my surprise, you were watching winter too, at exactly same quiet pace as mine. We never spoke a single word, yet beneath first snowfall, strangers somehow looked like souls that had known each other forever. People are such curious hearts. One season quietly changes, and yesterday's feelings return without a sound. Perhaps first snow doesn't really fall from sky. Perhaps it settles gently upon forgotten corners of heart. Did you leave home today just like I did, with no reason to be excited, yet wanting to walk for a while? At end of that road, perhaps we didn't find each other. Perhaps we simply recognized same winter first. I once believed happiness arrived only on extraordinary days, but while a cup of coffee slowly cooled with one breeze passing through birch trees, and one person looking at snow with same heart, life can remember just one ordinary day forever. People say first snow is only another season, but day we happen to meet someone isn't merely season. It's quiet moment when life gently changes direction. Did you walk today just like I did? Before love, before destiny, there was only heart that looked like first snow, and somehow that alone was beautiful enough. First snow had finally fallen. I'll remember it as a Saturday, and there along Birch Road, before winter found me, I found someone's heart. Lunch was nothing more than toast, iced Americano in my hand. I looked into the window, trying to find today's reflection. Then one familiar face quietly crossed my mind. Today I hoped I'd finally say hello. Until the day was over, small letter rested in my pocket. I folded it, opened it, then folded it once again. I didn't even know your name, yet somehow my heart already did. Snow began to fall again, and I slowly walked your way. Coincidence is such a curious thing. Without saying it has waited, it somehow waits until two people stand in the very same place. Perhaps winter simply teaches hearts to speak a little later. I was ready to hand you that little letter, but then you reached out your hand as well. Oh, same moment, same quiet feeling before words were ever spoken. Our winter was already smiling. We never asked for phone numbers, we never promised to meet again. One letter was enough for that day. Some feelings like handwritten words are meant to be read slowly. Moving faster, yet we chose to move a little slower. Perhaps hearts given without hurry stay warm much longer. Waiting gently shapes who we become. You held your letter, I held mine. We placed them into each other's hands with nothing more than quiet nod. Our footsteps walked away, but our hearts kept walking together. Snow fell without a word. Letters changed hands the same way. That winter never hurried us. Perhaps that's why, step by quiet step, we found our way toward each other. Lunch was nothing more than toast, iced Americano in my hand. I sat alone upon the bench, looking at my reflection in the window. Sometimes we stop just to recognize ourselves before beginning another ordinary day. But in that window, it wasn't only me. Smile as bright as falling snow was slowly walking toward me. Oh, before I even knew, smile had already found my face. You were one from Birch Road that day. Chance is such a curious thing. It wears most ordinary face while quietly bringing moment that changes everything. We call it coincidence, but perhaps our hearts had already learned the way. came moments of recognizing someone with same quiet heart. Oh, and from that single breath, our winter quietly began. I believed life only changed with extraordinary moments. Yet sometimes one smile changes season. One pair of eyes changes direction of whole day. Perhaps happiness always arrives this way. Searching for myself, yet I found you instead. And from that moment I was no longer person I had been yesterday. Meeting someone quietly changes who we become. The window is probably reflecting someone today, just as it did that afternoon. Looking for myself, I found you. Looking at you, I slowly found myself again. Perhaps that is what winter truly means. Toast for lunch, cup of iced coffee, one quiet window, and your smile, bright as first snow. That was day. Our winter quietly began. Blizzard covered all the sea, still we found our way back there. Waves climbed over breakwater, freezing water touched our shoulders. Everyone hurried home, but we stayed there, laughing in the storm. When cold wind reached our trembling hands, you quietly took my hand, then looked into my eyes with gentle smile. Standing next to you, I'm stronger than the breakwater. Those simple words fell deeper than snow and rose higher than restless waves. That was first time I ever knew even fiercest winter could warm someone's heart. Restless heart finally found its shore. Storm-soaked every thread we wore, yet one quiet sentence wrapped around my soul, warmer than any winter cold. In that moment I rose like restless wave, only to settle inside your heart. Happiness was never finding shelter from storm, it was finding someone worth standing beside. the same. World stayed wild, but somehow we were no longer fragile. Restless heart, brighter than falling snow. No matter how fierce world became, we were never each other's shelter. We became wind that made each other stronger. Storm finally faded, waves returned to sea. Yet words you gave me still remain, keeping my heart warmer than winter, even now. We always found that corner window facing quiet sea, holding warm cups with both our hands, blowing softly through rising steam. Our cheeks were glowing long before winter could. From old speakers, gentle Nordic melodies floated with guitar strings. Beyond the window, snow kept falling, wind had fallen asleep. Even restless waves only whispered to the shore. Without saying much, we somehow said everything. One sip of warm coffee could hold more words than longest conversation. Little by little, we were becoming more like each other. Until lighthouse light filled evening sky, our little world moved slowly on. One quiet smile, one drifting snowflake, one breath of coffee was all we needed to complete the day. Happiness was never something loud or grand, it was ordinary afternoon you wished would never end. Across the table, your quiet smile kept lighting every corner of my day. Lighthouse waits for ships lost at sea. We simply learned how to wait for each other. ever did. Snow had quietly stopped. Sunlight wrapped winter in gentle warmth. White shoreline stretched before us. Footprints had already crossed the sand. We simply followed those quiet little trails. Even sea had found its peaceful heart today. Walking across snow, resting on sandy beach, we laughed like children, step by step. You started laughing, so I laughed too. We stumbled again, and laughed once more. Happiness is such a curious thing. It never arrives with great fanfare. Sometimes it simply makes you laugh for no reason at all. That afternoon, winter turned us into children again. Like a scene from a movie, you were laughing, I was laughing, snow was laughing even. Like a scene from a movie, nothing extraordinary happened. Yet somehow we became happiest ones in the whole wide world. Life isn't about finding someone to walk beside. It's finding someone who laughs exactly when you do. Because shared laughter always comes from shared hearts. Footprints will disappear with tide. Snow will melt beneath warm sunlight. But the moment we laugh together will remain long after every winter has gone. Like a scene from a movie, we laughed again, stumbled again, then laughed even more. Winter was never a cold season. It became a season where laughter stayed the longest. Our footprints stayed upon the shore. Your laughter stayed inside my heart. And ever since, every winter has returned. journey. Firewood gently burned inside mountain lodge. Outside the window, snow embraced the night. We shared warm coffee as one candle lit our faces. No promises were spoken, yet our hearts had already found the same place. Candlelight gently danced, you smiled at me and softly said, let's come back next winter too. I simply smiled and nodded yes. Happiness isn't found by promising forever. Sometimes it's enough to know there's someone waiting beside you for next winter. That alone can fill a heart completely. Even on our way home, snow was still falling. Winter drifted quietly beyond the window. You leaned upon my shoulder. I watched silent snowfall without a single word. Our winter was becoming memory. Bus stopped at little station. Fresh snow covered everything. As we stepped outside, our feet sank softly into white silence. You laughed and whispered, this is our snow blossom station. From that moment, winter had its own name. Happiness was never about traveling far away. It was knowing there would always be someone beside you on way back home. Perhaps that's why even journey home felt beautiful. Even on our way home, snow was still falling. Our footsteps melted into quiet white, while happiness settled deeper into our hearts. With every step we took, snow blossom station. It was never just another stop. It became place where our winter chose to stay. Winter was always honest when it was cold. It simply said so when snow began to fall. It lifted every eye toward the sky, but human hearts were never quite that simple. Our truest words always hid behind another. I'm cold, that's all you said, but somehow I already knew You weren't speaking about the weather, you were quietly measuring distance between our hearts without a word. I stepped a little closer. Funny how we are, the words that matter most rarely come straight from our lips. Perhaps winter gently teaches us how to speak without speaking at all. Behind the words, I'm cold, with simple wish to feel a little warmer. Behind the words, I'm fine, lived day that wasn't fine at all. We never listened, only to our words. We listened to hearts behind them. Happiness was never about saying more, it was knowing someone understands. Without asking, you whispered, I'm cold. I quietly took your hand. Nothing else needed to be said. Perhaps winter isn't cold season, it's season where warmest language is finally learned. Behind the words, I'm cold, there was gentle smile, quiet waiting, and little courage to call my name. That winter we learned to trust each other's hearts before our words. I'm cold. Sometimes those two little words become warmest confession a heart can ever make. I always thought roads were somewhere far away, places waiting beyond the horizon. So I kept searching, maps in my hands, believing distance was answer all along. Then I found you, and every road changed. It wasn't where we walked, it was who walked beside me. Winter quietly showed me, without saying a word, some journeys begin with another heart. Even when snow covered every path, we never lost our way, because we never let go of each other's hands. World showed directions, you showed me where home begins. Knowing way home was never find home that winter. Never taught me where to go. It taught me why I return. We walked so many roads together, yet none of them stayed in my memory. What remained was always you, walking beside me with quiet smile. Knowing way home was never something I could learn alone, needing someone, waiting for someone, returning to someone that became warmest road I have ever known. Snow rested upon every road. You remained inside my heart. That winter never taught me how to find my way. It taught me how to come home. Winter night, mountain lodge grew quiet. Outside the window, snow kept falling softly. Then without warning, lights went out, leaving gentle darkness all around us. You smiled and lit a single candle. Tiny flames slowly filled the room. Steam rose quietly from our coffee cups, and little smiles found their way across our faces. Warmth never needed loud voice, it never asked to be noticed. Like quiet candlelight, it simply stayed beside us, lighting hearts little by little. Warmth always glowed quietly. One candle, one smile, one gentle hand. Those little moments brightened every corner of our winter. Winter was never season survived by blazing sun. It was season held together by little warmth. Perhaps that's why we never forget small kindness that quietly saved us. Cup of coffee, pair of gloves, things, yet happiness always begins there. Warmth always glowed quietly, even through falling snow. It gently lit our hearts. That winter was never made by miracles, but by little warmth gathered together. Only after winter was gone I finally knew it wasn't great light that stayed with me. It was always your little warmth. Winter quietly passed, snow had melted long ago. Spring breeze wandered through familiar streets. Everyone had changed with seasons, yet inside my heart one little snowflake never truly disappeared. One breath of coffee brought back the sea. One gentle guitar led me to Birch Road again. Looking through my window, I found myself smiling. Last winter had quietly returned once more. Snow fell on that day, memories fell today. Seasons moved on long before I did. Perhaps my heart needed a little more time. Memories always arrive after snow, quietly without a sound. One moment, one smile, one familiar face settling softly upon my heart. Winter was gone, yet winter still lived inside me. Happiness never leaves, it simply blooms a little later. So today I found myself smiling at last winter once again. Some days it returns with scent of coffee. Some days with single snowflakes. Some days with quiet guitar. Last winter always knows way back to me. Memories always arrive after snow. They fall gently across my heart without asking, without warning. Last winter never began. Old smoke lay low above every chimney. Frost flowers quietly bloomed upon the windows, yet no one hurried into the morning. I slipped my worn wool gloves back on and slowly followed the path beside the river. The sleigh tracks someone left behind last night were already fading beneath the snow. The river never broke its frozen silence. Only a few black crows flew against the wind. From the little house beyond the trees, the scent of burning wood welcomed the day. Grandmother always used to tell me, when the north wind grows the wildest, people rarely lose the road, they lose themselves instead. Maybe that's why today again I let your name melt slowly, only inside my heart. The north wind swept through without mercy, but it never carried my heart away. Even while the whole world trembled in white, what remained in the end was the winter where you smiled. So once again, before the blizzard reached me, I walked toward you. The freight train bound for Murmansk dragged its iron song into the distance. I stood alone at the end of the platform, listening until the final whistle disappeared. Someone waved goodbye to the leaving train. Someone chose silence instead. Strangely enough, the coldest winters have always been the quietest ones. The north wind buried the houses, the roads, even our footprints beneath the snow. But a memory that was once warm never disappeared. The north wind swept through again. Still, I never locked the door. Perhaps you might follow this wind back home. People say when the north wind is gone, winter leaves with it. But I have never believed that. Some seasons never leave a person, they simply remain for a lifetime. So this is how I live, believing that still. Snow gathered quietly through the night, yet one trail of footprints remained at the end of the lane. Someone had left before the dawn arrived, while the village still dreamed beneath its roofs. I stood there for a long, long while. Some days what remains behind speaks far longer than the one who walked away. The footprints led toward the river, crossed the birch woods and faded beneath the hill. The wind carried on as though nothing had happened, laying fresh snow over everything. That is how the world has always been, covering one thing, leaving another behind. So I came to believe winter was never the season of forgetting, only the season of enduring. Farewells often remain, not as words, but as footprints in the snow. You never left a single goodbye, yet the snow remembered every step you took. Perhaps we never truly disappear, we simply walk into someone else's season. So today again, I walked slowly across the snow, wondering if our paths might become one. Like one egg rested beneath its silent ice, a single chimney breathed into the evening sky. Its quiet smoke seemed to warm the fading light, more painful than knowing you would never return was realizing the heart never learns how to stop waiting. Perhaps we do not spend a lifetime remembering one person, we spend it remembering one path we once walked together. Those footprints without goodbye still rested upon the snow. I never stepped over them. Some traces should never be erased from a life. People say spring will melt every footprint away, but I know better. Snow may disappear, yet the road we have walked never melts. So I choose to walk a little slower. Perhaps one day someone will stop and quietly remember the footprints I leave behind. The lake hid its face beneath the ice, speaking not a single word since dawn. Only the shadows of birch trees drifted softly across the snow. I sat alone at the end of an old wooden pier and gently tapped the frozen surface. No sound returned to me, yet even silence had its depth. The wind could never stir the lake, while snow erased the edges of the world. Far away, beyond the little cabin, a single thread of smoke climbed into winter. People are much the same. On the days they hurt the most, they seldom cry, and the deepest hearts rarely speak. Beneath the ice, the water was still flowing slowly. The lake concealed its face, but winter had never stopped. Just because we cannot see doesn't mean something is gone. The ripples of that day, the sunlight we once knew, were quietly living beneath the ice. Along the forests of Karelia, dry branches whispered to one another. The road was empty, yet it felt as though someone had passed this way before me. Perhaps living is not about revealing everything, but carrying certain things in silence. Winter was never the season of hiding. It was the season of waiting. Even ice knows how to become water again. Today again, the lake looked back at me without a word, so I answered with silence. Sometimes silence is the longest conversation two hearts can share. People look upon a frozen lake and say everything has come to an end. But I have never believed that the deepest water is always the last to reveal itself. And the hearts that remain the longest have always been the quiet ones. I stopped in the quiet snow before the morning had fully come. The road was empty, yet somewhere a song seemed to be drifting through the wind. As birch branches softly swayed and dry snow scattered around my feet, winter needed no written score. It already knew its own song. I followed the frozen riverside, where fresh snow rested upon on an old wooden bridge, perhaps a melody someone once hummed had crossed this same winter. Snow never speaks, yet beneath its silence so many forgotten voices still lie asleep. The song falls first, not from the lips, but like snow inside the heart. The song left upon the snow never disappeared. The wind carried away the melody, but winter remembered its breath. So today again, the world quietly sang someone's forgotten song through falling snow. Far away, a train passed the little station, leaving behind a lonely whistle. It wandered across the white fields until it finally settled somewhere inside me. Perhaps living is not about singing loudly, but becoming a quiet song within another person's winter. Today, the snow kept falling without a word, and I kept walking without one. Yet between us, one song still remained. People say a song disappears once it ends, but I have never believed that. A song sung with all one's heart doesn't leave a person, it walks into the seasons and lingers there like snow for a very long time. Winter never spoke a single word to me. Snow kept falling, the wind wandered through the old streets. Day after day I walked the same road, and the lake wore the same frozen face. Nothing seemed to have changed, yet looking back I realized it wasn't the season that had changed, it was me. the falling snow. Some waited, some watched it leave, but winter took no one's side. It simply placed one quiet breath across the world. Silence has always arrived a little later than answers. Winter never spoke, and little by little I began to hear my own voice. The quieter the world became, the clearer my heart called my name. One evening I watched steam rising from an old samovar, and suddenly I understood. We do not become stronger because someone always comforts us. Sometimes we keep living because one quiet season stayed beside us without a word.
People always said there was nothing waiting in the north except colder winds. Yet whenever my heart grew tired, it was always the northern sky I found myself looking toward. One morning I picked up a small travel bag and boarded a train heading north. Beyond the window, birch forests drifted by without end, and little villages lay quietly beneath their breath of snow. If someone had asked me what I was searching for, I could never have answered. I only felt that somewhere farther along the tracks, another version of myself was patiently waiting. As the days became shorter, life itself grew quieter. The sound of an axe splitting wood, smoke rising from old chimneys, a dog barking somewhere far beyond the trees. Ordinary moments, nothing anyone would write about, yet those simple scenes brought a kind of peace. I had forgotten was possible. That was where I first learned happiness rarely arrives on extraordinary days. It comes quietly on the evening when an ordinary day feels like enough. The northern sky never called my name, still my feet kept choosing that direction. Toward the northern sky I walked a little farther every day, not because there was somewhere I had to arrive, but because with every step I was slowly becoming the person I had been searching for. The white horizon ahead was never an ending, it was simply another quiet season beginning. At night, auroras drifted across the dark sky, while warm lights appeared one by one inside the little houses below. The world suddenly felt enormous, yet strangely familiar. Someone was waiting for family to come home. Someone missed a voice they could no longer hear. Someone prepared for tomorrow without saying very much, and somehow knowing that made the whole world feel warmer than I had imagined. The train continued north, snow kept falling before I knew it. I had stopped looking at my own reflection in the window and spent much longer watching the road still waiting ahead. Perhaps living has never been about finding the perfect answer. Perhaps it is only choosing again and again the direction where your heart becomes a little clearer. So even now I still walk toward the northern sky, not because something is waiting there, but because I like who I become whenever I follow that road. People often ask at the end of life where they finally arrived. As for me, I think I would rather remember which sky I chose to keep walking toward. And so even today my heart quietly turns toward the north. Beyond the hills, and little by little the sky wrapped itself in a deep blue evening. At that hour it always felt as though the whole world had begun to breathe a little more slowly. I stopped for a while on a small hill and looked down at the village below. One by one, lights appeared behind the windows, while thin trails of smoke rose gently from old chimneys. Snow continued to fall without asking anything of anyone. Some people were preparing dinner, some were returning home. After a long day, some simply opened a warm wooden door and stepped inside. Watching those ordinary moments never hurried anyone. It seemed to whisper without saying a word that whatever had been left undone today could always be started again tomorrow. As the years pass, there are days when finishing safely matters more than arriving early. I think the evening has always known that darkness never came to erase the light. It came slowly, gently, to lead it home. As the blue evening settled in, the whole world grew quieter, and within that silence, for the very first time, I found myself saying, "You did well today." Far away, a single light shining through the snow seemed to answer, "You'll be all right." I sat beside the window with a warm cup of tea, watching the sky grow darker minute by minute. There was a time when every ending made me sad, but now I understand. It is only because evening comes that morning can begin again. Warm light danced softly inside the window. Outside, blue snowfields stretched endlessly into the distance, and somewhere between those two worlds I remained for a long, long time. Perhaps we do not rest because we are happy. Perhaps only after we finally allow ourselves to rest do we realize how much happiness had already been waiting for us. Tonight again, the blue evening settled quietly over everything. Without speaking, I simply let myself belong to that peaceful hour. People often say evening is where the day ends, but I have come to believe it is the hour when the greatest number of hearts find their way home. And whenever the blue evening returns, I quietly lead my own heart home as well. Home as well. No one ever told us exactly when that winter ended. The snowfall grew lighter, and little drops of water began to fall from the edges of the roofs. Yet we still believed we were walking through the very same winter. Perhaps seasons are always like that. They leave so quietly that we only realize they have gone long after they are already gone. Even the birch forest had begun to breathe a different wind. The river, which had slept beneath the ice for so long, started flowing again without making a sound. Birds crossed the northern sky, one after another, returning home. Still we mistook every small change for nothing more than another ordinary day. None of us understood that those quiet moments were already a farewell. Every goodbye arrives softly, that is why we almost never recognize the ending, while we are still living inside it. We never knew know the same quiet roads, the same familiar silence. And because we believe that we forgot to say goodbye to the little moments that would never return. When I remember that winter now, I rarely think of anything extraordinary. Instead, I remember a warm mug resting beside the window, a chair where I always left my gloves, snow falling from my coat in the doorway, the wind knocking softly against the glass. It is strange, isn't it, how the smallest things carry an entire season, long after the season itself has disappeared. Perhaps people are remembered in exactly the same way, not by the grand promises, but by the ordinary days we quietly share. So much of life is learned from seasons that have already passed. The present stands too close for us to notice how beautiful it really is. Only after it becomes a memory do we finally understand what it had been trying to give us. Now, whenever I feel a quiet day beginning to fade, I linger just a little longer, because I know that one day even this ordinary afternoon may become another winter I will spend missing. People say winter ends because spring arrives, but I have come to remember it differently. Winter did not become precious after it was gone. It became precious the moment I realized, far too late, that I had been living inside something beautiful without ever knowing it was already saying goodbye. When I was younger, I believed happiness was waiting somewhere far ahead, beyond more winters, beyond more miles, beyond everything I had yet to accomplish. So I kept walking past today, always looking toward tomorrow. What I did not know then was that happiness had never been waiting. At the end of the road it had been sitting quietly inside the ordinary days. I was too busy to notice. One snowy evening I closed the window and stepped into a warm room. I hung my wet gloves by the door. The kettle was beginning to sing, and a small fire crackled gently inside the old stove. As I stood there watching that simple evening, a quiet thought came to me. What if the happiness I had searched for all my life had always looked exactly like this? Happiness has never arrived with a loud voice, were beautiful days. Perhaps that single sentence has always been the true name of happiness. Even now, whenever I find footprints left upon fresh snow, I think less about the day we walked together than about the quiet afternoon when I stood alone looking back at those fading prints. Perhaps we do not cry simply because something is gone. Perhaps we cry because we finally understand how precious the time we once had really was. These days I try to walk a little more slowly, because if this ordinary moment should someday become the memory I miss the most, I do not wish to let it pass without noticing its quiet smile. People travel far away, searching for happiness, but now I finally understand it had always been sitting beside me, patiently waiting without complaint. I was simply too busy looking ahead to notice the small smile that had been keeping me company all along. As winter grew deeper, I found myself keeping a quiet habit. I began to linger a little longer over the things that were slowly disappearing. The last light at the edge of evening, faint footprints left upon the snow. The distant train growing smaller as it disappeared beyond the hills. The less I could keep, the harder it became to look away. I never really understood why. One afternoon I found an old photograph. Everyone inside it was smiling. Not one of them knew that the ordinary day they were living would someday become a memory. Perhaps that is why their smiles now seemed even brighter than they had on that very day. Maybe beauty is not born inside the moment itself. Maybe it quietly blooms much later inside the heart that remembers. Not everything that disappears leaves behind only sorrow. Sometimes it leaves a gentle light we later call longing. Why do the fading days shine so brightly? Perhaps because because the ordinary hours we hardly noticed have become the seasons that continue to live inside us. We did not lose them, we simply learned their beauty too late. These days, whenever I walk along a winter road, I no longer hurry. I listen to the wind, to the snow falling softly from the branches, to the smoke rising quietly from distant chimneys. I stay just a little longer with each ordinary moment, because I know that one day this very afternoon will also become something I long to return to. Perhaps that is why we were given memories, because time never stops for anyone. But the memory gives disappearing days another chance to keep shining. And perhaps beauty itself is nothing more than the quiet decision to keep loving what time could never keep. Even today the sun slips quietly beyond the hills. Winter moves forward without a sound. And now for the first time I understand nothing beautiful ever truly disappears. It simply begins to shine from somewhere deeper within us. People often believe that what disappears is simply gone. But I have learned something different. Perhaps beautiful things never stay forever, because they have already given us everything they came to give. And so I watch the evening sky until the very last light fades away, because tomorrow, without even knowing it today, will already have become another beautiful memory. That winter, I watched the last bird cross the northern sky in one long flight. No one tried to call it back, and the bird never turned to look behind. The sky simply grew a little wider, and winter a little deeper. Strangely, the word that came to me was not goodbye, but completion. The trees did not mourn the leaves they had lost. The river did not cease to move, because it carried ice upon its surface, and the bird was not abandoning the season. It was simply following its own path toward the season ahead. Only then did I understand. Leaving is not always an ending. Sometimes it is simply another way of continuing to live. must leave our side before they can truly begin to live within us. The last bird flew away, and the sky became a little quieter, yet inside that silence there remained something that lasted longer than the sound of wings. I had not lost the bird. Little by little I was becoming more like the sky it had once looked upon. Even now on winter evenings I watch the distant birds until they disappear. There was a time when I would have wished to keep them near, but now I follow them with my eyes and quietly wish them a safe journey, because I have learned that a day will come when love seasons, and even people must be released, not because they matter less, but because to bless their leaving is sometimes the deepest way to love them. Birds do not lose the sky, they carry it within them as they cross into another sky. Perhaps we are not so different, perhaps the things we have loved do not disappear, perhaps they become a wider sky, opening slowly within us. Once again the last bird flies toward the far edge of winter. I no longer raise my hand to wave goodbye. Instead I stand there with a quiet smile, because now I understand that leaving is part of life, and so is remaining behind. People say the bird has flown away, but I no longer believe that is entirely true. The bird did not simply leave, it passed through our winter sky and made it a little wider than before. And so, whenever winter draws near to its end, I look up into the empty sky. Somewhere within it, the path of the last bird is still there, quietly leading onward. After walking through such a long winter, I learned how to love the cold before I learned how to wait for spring, the bitter wind, the quiet evenings, the roads covered in snow. All of them had become a part of my life, and so spring was no longer a season that needed to arrive quickly. Someday the snow will melt, the rivers will begin to flow again, and the birds will return, but I will not leave winter winter behind. Winter is no longer only a season. It has become the heart that carried me all the way here. And even in spring, that heart will continue walking beside me. The seasons do not push one another away. They simply step aside and quietly open a path for what comes next. So let us not hurry, spring will find us someday when we have become a little warmer, a little quieter, a little more able to hold one another within our hearts. Spring will find us when we are ready to recognize its footsteps. Even today I walk slowly along the winter road, the snow beneath my feet, the smoke rising in the distance, the small light at a window. I gather each of them into my heart, because now I know that by tomorrow all of this may already be a memory. And I have learned that memories are the quiet firewood that keeps us warm as we continue living forward. Spring is not the opposite of winter. It is another season that finds those who have loved winter all the way to its end. And so I do not let winter go. I carry it within me as I turn to welcome spring. On the day spring finally finds us, I will smile without a word. Not because nothing was lost, but because I will understand that every season I have passed through was quietly leading me here. The long winter will end, but winter will not end within me. It will continue to make me a little warmer, a little deeper, and a little more able to understand the winters other people carry. And so I no longer go searching for spring. I simply live this day as it is. Then someday spring will not lose its way. It will follow the road we have walked